Hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone tuning in. My name is ATX Crypto, your one-stop shop, all things crypto, blockchain, and of course, we're excited to bring you the latest updates in the fast-paced world of cryptocurrency, including the Richard Heart ecosystem, Hex, PulseChain, and PulseX. Now, of course, whether you're a seasoned crypto veteran, you're just an enthusiast in the game, you're new to crypto, we got you covered with in-depth analysis, diving in further into what's going on with the ecosystem, what's happening with the overall market. We have interviews with industry experts and so much more. So join us as we navigate this exciting world of cryptocurrency and blockchain together. And today, we are going to be looking into PulseChain updates. It seems like there's been a lot of stir happening all around in our ecosystem, whether it be the developers coming back in, becoming more active on the GitLabs, which is just an awesome story to see overall. Again, I hope everyone is having a fantastic day. Let me make sure we got everyone in here, make sure everything's all good. Yep, looks good to me. Perfect. Well, again, I hope everyone again is having a great day. Let me know how everything sounds. Should anything be off for any reason, I come from an IT background. I try to change things slowly, and so that way, what is going on? My man, Randy Hilarski. Yes, we need to get back on and do some more chats and interviews together. In fact, I absolutely loved having Randy Hilarski on. If you haven't seen that video, definitely go check it out. If you aren't subscribed to not only my channel, but Randy's channel as well, definitely do yourself a favor and go check out Randy Hilarski's channel. As a matter of fact, I can actually just probably post it here in chat. That way y'all can just go through and check it out when you have some time. He also discussed Hex, PulseChain, and PulseX, but he has so much more. He's not a maxi in the Richard Heart ecosystem. He's in the minerals like gold, silver, and everything as well, along with many other cryptos. He is a veteran in this game. Thank you so much for being a part of the chat. Thank you for tuning in and checking out the stream and letting me know that the sound is great. I'm actually going to post this right here. That way everyone can see. Bam. And of course, anyone who wants to go check it out, I left a link down in the chat. You're welcome to go to Randy's channel as well and check it out. It's absolutely a pleasure. Oh, thank you so much, Randy. Thank you. It really is awesome. Tweeted it out. Thank you again. He definitely is a big member in the ecosystem for our community. A lot of folks have enjoyed his rooftop rants that he'll do. He does a daily stream as well, Monday through Friday. So y'all are welcome to check his channel out. Dive in, learn more about crypto. If you're not learning about crypto during this bear market, you are absolutely messing up. Now is the time. You should be learning from previous items that you may have made mistakes on. You should be learning from other veterans who are in this ecosystem. Again, this is the time that we want to focus on how we can improve and what we're going to change going forward. I know something that I'm changing, and that's profit taking, guys. Before I was a big person who believed in the buy and hodl strategy, the diamond hands, as they say, and it really kind of like hits home that, when you see something go up 10x, 50x, and you don't take any profits, I think there's some room for some growth in that regard as well. So what I've done is I've actually come through and implemented my own strategy. I'll be sharing that a little bit later in this video. I'm still building out a spreadsheet to hopefully share with the entire community. Luke Duke in the house saying always great stuff from Randy. 1,000%. Absolutely 100% and 1,000% and 10,000% agree with that. He is a phenomenal member, and it's just absolutely awesome seeing his views, what he thinks and what's going on. And so some of this comes back to, PulseChain. Is Richard Heart timing the market? Has he been waiting this entire time for really things to start happening? But folks, it looks like people in the ecosystem of the community for the developers for PulseChain and for PulseX have been very active over the last week. Not only very active in the last week, they've actually gone through and shared some items too. So I can pull that up real quick and share this with y'all so you can see. Now, KDP is a person who's in Power City. It's another development happening on the PulseChain ecosystem, but these are the developers for PulseChain and PulseX. We have Kyle Barr, we have SJB, Brett Paulson, and we also have 3 Commas Capital. But look at the dates of their last activity. Last activity, January 3rd. And let me go back over here so you can see. Last activity, January 3rd. Last activity, January 5th. Last activity, January 4th. Last activity, January 4th. Guys, this is happening, and they have been very, very active over the last week. As a matter of fact, if you actually pull it up on the page for what she's using, it's this Who is XML API. And what it does is it allows us to kind of see what's happening with certain websites and domains. Look at this. If we type in PulseChain, which I've already done, pulsechain.com, just so you can kind of see the details here, pulsechain.com. Look at this. In terms of the testnet, they have some updates happening overall here too. We have January 4th, 2023. If you scroll down a little bit further, again, they have the graphs of the testnet, January 4th, 2023, the health, January 4th, 2023. And there's so much more. Now you can subscribe to them. I do not have a subscription with them as well. But if I do the same regard and I type in pulsex.com, using this website, look at the update, guys. app.v2b.testnet.plsx. Guys, this is the testnet that we're using right now, and the last update was on January 4th. Whoops, you can't see because me blocking it. Was on January 4th, 2023. That is some bullish news, folks. They have been very active in terms of what's happening in the community. The Brett P is what he goes by, or Brett Tep, my apology. Brett Tep, let me pull it up here. And I shared this again the other day, but Brett Tep is, in fact, a PulseChain.com developer. He's a PulseChain dev. Like, hey, that is incredible. So Brett Tep has been sharing plenty of insight. Why can't I zoom in? Zoom, sucker. Okay, 1 second here. Zoom? No? Zoom? Okay. Well, I don't know why it won't zoom in right now. Oh, there it goes. Of course, I just had to keep messing with it. You already know how things go sometimes. But Brett Tep right here, y'all can follow him. In fact, I'm actually going to give him a follow right now because I'm very curious. It wasn't really known that this was, in fact, a member of the ecosystem for PulseChain. But if we look back at GitLab, for example, and go to the members in GitLab, he is, in fact, a member here in the overall channel. And again, this is the GitLab for PulseChain. These are the members right here. 3 Commas Capital. There we go. We got 3 Commas Capital, Brett Paulson, Hexwatch, Kyle Barr, Richard Hart, our man, the G, Space Ghost of Quadrant 1337, and then Ken SJB 933. Now, what we can see over here, these are the last times they were active. I may zoom out just a smidge and just kind of zoom in so y'all can see, maybe like that. I like that. Maybe one more time. Now can I scroll? No. Okay, cool. I don't need to. It's like got all the information. But of course I'm blocking SJB. So if you can't see, because again I'm blocking, I don't feel like adjusting the whole screen. You know how it goes. Just me being lazy. But the last time SJB was on was January 3rd, 2023. If you go back up, Richard Hart hasn't really been active on this one since September, and that's also about the time when he really started kind of going radio silent. We haven't really heard much from him, especially reaching out in terms of his YouTube channel. I think the last time was about 5 months ago as well, was the last time we had kind of seen some posting of some updates. Kyle Barr, January 3rd, 2023. Whoops, and again, I put it right over myself. January 3rd, 2023, we have Brett Tep, January 4th, 2023, And then we have 3 Commas Capital, January 2nd, 2023. These are developers, maintainers, and developers in the whole ecosystem. So guys, now that we can verify this is in fact who they say they are, and again, you can verify at BrettTep, and there's only really one at BrettTep right now, so that makes it pretty easy. But if you go over here, you can see the same thing, at BrettTep, okay? Now, if I'm saying the name wrong, my apology. Definitely not doing it on purpose. I'm reading it phonetically and how it sounds. So don't sue me, bro. I'm not trying to do anything crazy here. I'm just sharing the good word. We got followed by everyone else. HexyAF Cajun. She's an awesome, awesome Hexagon female in the community, doing daily, if not many Twitter spaces, sharing the good word, spreading the good word. If you have a few moments in time, go on in there, introduce yourself, say hello. If you got questions, they are diving in, they are helping out. That is one thing I absolutely love about this community. We have Aaron Barnett saying, excited on this. I wonder if RH has any updates. Next interview with Maddie. I got a feeling March will be the date. Little peeky face. Little peeky face emoji. We got Academaciated in the house saying, afternoon all. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone tuning in. Randy Hilarski saying, hello, thank you. At Luke Duke, yes, Randy Hilarski saying hello and thank you. That is just incredible. Crypto Frontier, thanks for your work. Crypto Frontier, thanks for commenting and being a part of the channel and just coming through. Recently, we got a big little increase in subscribers. We're passing the 430 number, next to 450, then 500, then we take over the world. You already know how it goes. We're just having a blast. I am looking to get as many subscribers as we can because we love sharing the good word of Hex. So if this is something that you're enjoying, definitely do me and yourself a favor. Click the like, click the subscribe, leave a comment down below, share the love. It's a big measure of greatness and gratitude. Along with that, share this information out. Like Randy just did a moment ago, he tweeted out the stream. That's how we spread the word, right? Spread the word of each other, and let's share some information overall. So this is actually them kind of having some information. What do they say? It is important to be able to change one's mind when confronted with adequate evidence. And again, it looks like 3 Commas Capital. He is another developer of PulseChain and PulseX. BrettTep saying yes, sir. And BrettTep actually coming through here. One thing that he did say was that he won't announce, and this is something he was doing, right? This is on January 1st, the brand new year of 2023. Someone asked where I got my data. Here is the output of the DHT crawl. It takes about 9 hours. There were 579 nodes that were found on the PulseChain testnet fork. That is an insane amount of nodes, folks. This is for testnet, guys. Testnet, and we're running this many nodes. That is absolutely incredible and so bullish as well. Let's get back over here and go back one. All right. No, don't go forward. I don't want to go. Why do I keep doing that? All right. So another thing that we actually have happening too. KDP is sharing the good word here. She's been sharing this quite a bit. Are you ready for PulseChain to knock down the others as we take the #1 spot? Absolutely ready. Here, Hex is, nearing the bear market, and this is actually a good chart showing Hex versus the fear and greed index, essentially, right? This is how a lot of folks will measure. We looked at this chart as well, and it looked like it was matching pretty damn close to what Hex was doing. So the fact that she overlaid it, or someone overlaid it to show kind of how it all went down, this is kind of scary because, again, it all starts in disbelief, and then it goes into hope, and then optimism, belief, thrill, and euphoria. And check that out. We basically hit euphoria around this time. Well, from there, it starts going into complacency, anxiety, denial, anger, capitulation, and depression. I think we've reached damn near toward the bottom of this feeling at this moment in time. A lot of folks, like myself included, never even thought Hex could even go down below 10 cents, let alone 20 cents once we started reaching these levels. Well, that was clearly proven wrong. And so I never want to say that the bottom's in because I've been wrong before, which is why whenever I look at some of these charts that I do myself, I just take this information and just share it across with everyone, right? Yeah. Hey, keep this up. Aaron Barnett saying, thanks to Randy, I'm here. Hey, thank you again, Randy. Let's go. Yeah, people are saying May. People are saying March. Jeff Woods in the house. Keep spreading the good word. Thank you so much. Much appreciated as well, Jeff. Let's go for May, right? And I know that's what Randy has said in his public sentiment as well, how he feels when the launch of PulseChain could come. And I think we're probably pretty close to around that same sentiment for PulseChain launching around May, especially if we got the man saying mid-May and everyone's laughing, saying that there's now a chance he meant 2023. I don't think anyone really knows what's going to go down and what's going to happen, but that's why when you just look at some of this stuff, it can easily change within a freaking fraction of a second, right? So whenever I look at this chart, this is the Hex versus USDC chart. We're currently sitting back around 1.95 cents. This is the weekly chart. Let me switch it over here to the daily. In the daily. Cool. So if I pull this up through the daily chart right now, I can still see that we're trending below the 9 EMA versus 15 EMA. This is kind of a measure to know when we're about to start flipping, but we're really hoping to start seeing this cross. Usually when you see the cross happen, and I'll give you some examples of what that actually looks like when it goes down. So usually when you see a cross happen, it looks something like this. Okay. Cool. So usually it'll go like this. It'll be 9 EMA down here, 15 EMA up here. It'll cross, meaning the 9 EMA goes above the 15 EMA, meaning we're going up from there. And usually that's a pretty good indicator that we're going to be going into a bullish momentum movement. And the same as the opposite. Whenever it crosses back down and the 9 EMA crosses below the 15 EMA, typically that's a bear sign. Now again, markets can change within a fraction of a second. A whale can come in and do whatever the heck they want and do whatever they want with the price. Something could happen with them through life. They could get hacked. We never know. So using this as the only measure of what's going to go down and when it's going to happen is by far a terrible, terrible idea. All I do is just simply take a look and see what's available for us. OMFE says, I refresh daily the GitLab merge request, but I never thought of checking out the developer's activity. Nice topic to discuss. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm here because of Randy. Well, Grit Gains, thank you again for coming through. I know he spread that tweet out, and we got plenty of folks tuning in now. So to everyone who is here, my name is ATX Crypto. We do a daily stream live here around noon Central Standard Time. And then that's going to be a measure of talking about the Hex ecosystem, cryptocurrencies, blockchains, diving into certain people's wallets, seeing what the activity is going on, bringing on guests, and just an overall blast to have everyone here. Corey Tate says, liked and tweeted out. Thank you again, Corey. Thank you so much for everyone hopping on in here, being a part of this fun. So you can see we got pretty dang close to the 9 EMA crossing the 15 around this time. I was really hoping for that. Because you can kind of see when it started going back up and the inflection point started happening. But we never got to cross. And unfortunately, because we never crossed, we started trending back down. It wasn't only because of that, but it just kept the momentum kind of started to stall out. And then eventually we've kind of been on the downward trajectory. Well, we're starting to see that little inflection point kind of kick its little rear end on the way up again. Hopefully this time we can pass this little threshold and go straight up from there. We got new subscribers in the house. Thank you so much for subscribing. Grit Gains in the house. Thank you again. We got Big GZ in the house. Thank you for subscribing as well. An absolute blast. Thank you so much for being a part of the community and growing with me. And so that's what Hex has got going on. A little W form happening, the little George W, and so hopefully if we end up getting this little pattern happen and play out, we kind of go down here, we go up, we go down, we go up, and then hopefully we just kind of keep on trending up. That's what you want to see in all reality, right? That's always the nice little area to start looking, because I want to plan ahead, right? If we know that the PulseChain launch is coming soon, I had mentioned a little moment ago that one thing I regretted almost not doing was having a profit taking schedule or an exit strategy to be able to start slowly earning some potential profits, scraping some money and setting it to the side for rainy days or for when prices dip lower. So what I have going on right here is actually a spreadsheet that I'm working on. Can I make this into dark mode? How do you make Google into dark mode? I don't know. Settings? Do I want to see this in dark mode? I don't know. I don't think I do. We'll play around with that. I have dark mode basically for everything. Anyways, I got distracted really quick. Tin Top in the house. Thank you so much, Tin Top. Always coming through saying, "What's up, Hexicans?" Well, Tin Top, thank you as always. I'll share that energy from the message in your chat through the stream, so hopefully everyone can feel that energy, feel the love. Say what's up back to Tin Top. He's always been here almost since day one for me streaming live. It's been an absolute pleasure having Tin Top come through. He damn near shows up every single day I'm streaming, so it's always good when you have the OGs who come through and start swinging back. But my goal here, right, was to come up with a strategy not only for myself but for other people as well, and something that can almost be done in a sense of a little bit easier method as well. So what I have here is just kind of showing, and my idea right now, Randy Alarski coming through. What's up, everyone? Staying around, sticking around, saying what's up, saying hello, showing the love. Love it, love it, love it, love it. I was like, guys, you know what? I was thinking to myself, like, during this bear market, it's been a time of reflection. It's been a time of learning. I've used every moment I can to use it as a learning opportunity. Yes, I've made mistakes. Will I make some more mistakes in the future? Yes, but if you aren't learning from your mistakes, then you aren't going to grow. And you have to experience mistakes and you have to experience failures in order to move forward and get better and do better things, right? Like, I didn't start streaming every single day and it was smooth from day one. No, it's been hiccups from the time I clicked started on the record. And I always had this perfect envision in my head that it was, I would have the whole studio set up and I would have everything here and I would have everything there. It's not that simple, right? Unfortunately, like, it just doesn't come along that way. It just doesn't happen right now, right? And Randy, why are you not? I know I gotta have you as a moderator, so I'm gonna make that happen real fast just to give you that wrench. Cause what in the world? We got Randy without a wrench? We definitely need to fix that. Well, it's been fixed, Randy. You are now a mod in the channel with the wrench. Thank you so much. Let's go, let's go, let's go. All right, back to the stream. So, let me see what's up with everyone. Tin Top saying, I try. This day job messes with my content consumption some days. Yeah, and I sent out a little message too. What's funny, I sent out a message. I was like, hey, I send out a poll. Should I say, hey, how long should my streams be, right? Should they be 30 minutes or less? You don't want to be going for more. Should I be pushing about an hour and no more, no less? Just kind of give that nice little area of time. Should I go for 2 hours plus and just have fun shooting the shit with everyone and just sharing some information? Because I get lost in these streams sometimes. And before you know it, you blink and like 2 hours have passed. And I'm like, oh shit, I got stuff to do. Right, we run a little zoo here in my house, if you will. So we have 4 dogs, a cat, 3 snakes, and we typically will have some boarding trains over as well. So I still am busy doing the semi-retired life where I get to have fun. I get to come in, I get to join the streams, and I listen to the content as well. I don't necessarily catch everyone live, but I definitely love consuming all the content from everyone as well. So this time I was like, guys, I don't want to make a mistake, right? And by a mistake, I mean I had an opportunity where I saw my gains go from 0 to quite a bit of money, especially from Hex. And, I didn't sell. I didn't sell any of it. And through that, I continued to watch it dip. And I actually was buying through that time, and I was buying the dip and everything there. But I never sold. And while that's a good thing, I have more Hex now than I did whenever I first started entering Hex. I have more stakes. I have more T-shares. that you're right. I've learned that lesson, but now I also want to take the next level of crypto, and that is understanding how to take profit. If you think about fruit, right? Like, and I was thinking about like comparing crypto to a pineapple. Like, pineapple trees can take sometimes 2 to 3 years before it even starts bearing its first fruit, and then you usually have to wait another year from there. So you got folks who are eating pineapple on the daily, myself included, but you have folks who are, who have such a short-term vision that, I want to try to compare it to almost like a farmer, right? You still want to reap some rewards while it's growing, but you don't want to chop down the whole tree. And that's kind of the same exact aspect that I wanted to bring to this chart right here in this spreadsheet. I wanted to say, hey, what's going on? Thank you so much, Cash Up Cash. Love it, love it, love it. We got another subscriber coming through. Love it, absolutely love it. Thank you so much for this as well. Big G Z saying hello to everyone, throwing a little wavy sign, saying Randy saying cool. And we got Captain Randy Hilarski. Absolutely, Pierce East. Captain Randy Hilarski, for sure. Coming through clutch as always. And it's just a blast having him share the love, share the community. Former military as well, veteran in the game, veteran himself. So, absolutely love sharing this information with other folks who are vets in the community. And, if we can get like a little vet stream going, that'd be always cool too. We'll see. And yeah, to answer the question, I think someone had said this a little bit earlier, but I'm hoping that Richard Hart comes out with some crazy news. He's supposed to be speaking on January 9th for PulseChain, and that's going to be at the Hex conference online that Matty All In's throwing. I believe Randy, if I'm not mistaken, is going to be speaking there. I know I get to say my little testimonial portion there for a couple minutes, and I'm appreciative of just filling that slot. And I'll share my thoughts and my experience as well. I'll have to find a way to kind of summarize everything, but that's going to be starting tomorrow, January 6th through January 9th. So definitely get ready to start tuning in on those. I know it's going to be a lot of good information, a lot of good Hex streamers, a lot of good Pulse streamers. And that's something we need to start. I don't know if it's confirmed. He would. I don't see why Matty All In would put that on the template for the stream if he was not speaking, right? It would be very odd because this is something that he has shared out now with the entire community, if I'm not mistaken. It's been put out for the whole schedule, so you can actually see when the whole schedule is. It's a breakdown of the schedule as well. And so if I go over here, and I'll share this as well real quick so you can see. And go back and share. Mac OS isn't supported. Yeah, cool. That's okay. I don't need you to support the sound. I got the music. So this is the this is actually the chart right here, right? RH is speaking, right? And this is happening. Whoops. This is happening right here. Can I zoom in? Sure can. Okay, so if you look over here, the last day, which I'll just kind of get to the top, January 9th, Monday, 2020. It says 2022. Lol. Maddie, fix it. Well, you can see it's up here. The Hexpo conference is January 6th through 9th, 2023. However, he is going to be putting it down here, January 9th, 2023. We have discussing hacks. We got RH Max, OX Steph for Staker app. I'm looking forward to what he's going to talk about with the Staker V2 coming soon. I think that's supposed to be launched, if I'm not mistaken, Q1 of 2023. So I'm looking forward to that. K4K is going to talk, and then we get our man Richard Hart speaking right here, along with Matty All In interviewing Richard Hart and having a whole discussion overall with Richard Hart, Hex founder. He's a keynote speaker, and he's going to have an RH social spotlight with Hexicans as well. And so this is going to be coming through, and I know a lot of people are going to be sharing the love, sharing the gratitude, sharing the fun, and these are the people that are actually coming through some of the channels on here as well. So kind of keep that in mind. and check out some of these people. But get ready, because this is happening very, very soon. And so it says, I hope he will give us some updates about PulseChain. Yeah, we all want that, right? We definitely, like, why would we not want to have some updates on PulseChain? I myself want updates on PulseChain. He got so frustrated, I think, by people saying win PulseChain that it almost, I think, deterred him away from social media. That was what I had thought of, at least, whenever he kind of went silent and went radio silent. I was like, dude, he is unfortunately now not speaking to anyone and nothing's happening. And so, right, and then he would hop on streams, but people wouldn't really talk about PulseChain. He would just, reiterate the same things that he said before in the past, how he's called the top, and Bitcoin's going to 11K and pray, and sharing the good word of all of that good stuff for the people who have heard him for the first time or hearing him for the first time. But it looks like he is going to be here. He is supposed to be here live. RH will be talking. So be ready to have a short and long speech. That's a great point, Tin Top. Be ready to have a short and long speech on hand, just in case they need to fill time. Well, I mean, I feel like I can just ramble on forever, right? And especially when you start talking about Hex, PulseChain, PulseX, the ecosystem of it, the developers of it, how we need to be more welcoming as a community. I know Hex has a lot of Hex maximalists, but PulseChain is going to be bringing on an entire fork of Ethereum. So there's going to be a whole new slew of people coming through, not for just Hex, not just for PulseChain, but for the builders on there. The SHIB community is actually looking to come on as well and looking to speak there. And so, yeah, I mean, just an overall blast. And again, like, the Pulse Police are probably going to have an insane job, right? Like, the Pulse Police, if y'all don't know, on Telegram, they do a phenomenal job kind of reviewing some protocols that are all being implemented here on here in Pulse, right? Whether it be Poor Pleb, whether it be Pulse Doge, whether it be whatever token is coming out new, they're doing a great job coming through, right? Pulse Bitcoin, right? Pulse Litecoin. There's so many things that are coming through, right? And so it's like, if you're interested in wanting to see if maybe some of this stuff is probably going to at least be good, or probably at least going to be safe, like, they can't guarantee with 100% certainty, and nor would I want them to. It's not their job. It's still up to you at the end of the day to determine what you decide to risk your money in, right? So don't just say, like, oh, you said it was safe. Like, you took the action of buying and doing whatever with that crypto. So take accountability for your actions. Don't just rely on someone else. But this is part of doing your research, right? Like, if you are wanting to get into some of these other items and projects, well, it might be smart to sign up on Pulse Police, or become a member, or become active in Pulse Police, right? And so that way you can start being more mindful of what's happening, what's going on, what's being shared, and everything there as well. And give me 1 second while I get this flip back real quick, just so I can switch the screen back over to discuss profit taking. Tinta, be ready. Yep. Academiciated says far too few likes. Let's go, party people. Party people. Let's go. I need to have some more coffee, apparently. I'm not juiced up enough. Luke Duke, we really have a great community. We are going to see some amazing things in the future. 1000%, Luke Duke. Like, that was, dude, like, so I came from the Marine Corps, and after the Marine Corps, you get this camaraderie, this brotherhood that you form this bond of the trials and tribulations that you not only went through, but they experienced with you. You look out for the person to your left, to your right. It's 1000%. They break you down, man. Like, that is when you join the Marine Corps, they tear you down to nothing to make sure that you understand the basic principle that you look out to the Marine to the left and to the right. Or in this case, you look out to the brother or sister to the left and to the right. Well, when I first joined crypto, it wasn't like that. It was like this influencer thing where I was finding out, this is the new coin that people are looking at. This is when you sell. This is when you buy. This is that. This is that. And it became this like whole nonsense thing, and I didn't love it at all. And then I found Hex, and I was put in my direction to Hex. once I found Hex and I found the ecosystem and I found the community, it felt like the closest thing I've ever had to the brotherhood that I found in the Marine Corps, to the camaraderie of people who are experiencing the same ups, the same downs. They've had the trials, the tribulations. You've had the experience of other veterans who have been there longer, who are willing to not only take the time to share, but to make sure that you understand the importance of so many things, right? Like not your keys, not your coins. Not only that, not just saying that phrase, how to take your coins off a centralized exchange into a personalized self-custodial wallet. And then they go even further from there, how to take that self-custodial wallet and move it to a treasure or a ledger. And then what you can do from there and how to create passphrases and the steps that are necessary. And if you ever had questions, you could ask your questions because people in this community are open to help. Like it was a phenomenal experience. I'm getting chills talking about it, but like it was a phenomenal experience, right? It was this absolutely phenomenal time that you would be able to like sit there with someone and just say like, I don't understand what a t-shirt is. I don't understand why I would want to stake longer than 30 days, 60 days, a year. What would be the benefit? What's the perks of setting up a staking ladder? What does actually Hex do, right? I'm scared of all the accusations of it calling it a scam. I'm doing this and like the amount of people that would flood to your help to answer and help you and assist you was absolutely wild. It was so incredible. And that drew me even more to this community, right? Like I got to experience something that I hadn't had to experience or hadn't got to experience in a long time since the Marine Corps. Like I got out in 2010, right? Like you got to imagine that's a bit of time while I'm just kind of treading water by myself, doing my thing. And yes, you have your brothers and sisters and your friends and your family, but that feeling you have when you're in the military and the bonds that you form are just so freaking incredible. They're lifelong, right? Which is why when I found Hex in the community, man, dude, it was this uplifting feeling of relief, of like a sigh of relief, this moment that I could say, I have people I can talk to again, right? I have someone who's experienced some things. I have someone I can reach out to. And dude, like it was just it's insane, guys. I'm so appreciative of not only the Hex community and the Hex contract and what it did for myself, my mental health, my mental well-being, but also the relationships I've been able to build within the community into the personal relationships I'm able to build outside of the community and how I'm able to take a different stance and a different look and it's like such a freaking wild experience, right? So like yeah, right there, Ten Top, that was like a freaking 10-minute talk or whatever, and that was me just kind of rambling. like like it's incredible, folks. Corey Tate says Brett Tep and three other devs updated GitLab activity on January 3rd and 4th. Not sure if that means anything. Yeah, it 100% means something. Like if they're active again, not only are they active on the GitLab, but they're also becoming active in social media, right? Like Brett Tep's coming out on Twitter and he's saying like, "Hey guys, I can't share any information with you because it's not my place. Like it's up to Richard Hart to actually say something." But like he's over here trying to say the good word too, right? He's over here trying to spread like shit's coming, guys. Like if you're not ready for it, like I don't know what else to say, right? I don't like that's an insane amount of time that you have this man who's like literally come through and said like, guys, like yes, there's stuff happening. Someone said, hopefully we as a community decide to host validators as decentralized as possible. Personally, I would like to see a nice spread around the world in almost every country through different times and personal servers, VPSs, and everything. And then Brett Tep saying this is inevitable, zero chance of it not happening. And then he actually has a whole screenshot of like where all the validators were. And I'll share that as well real quick, and then we'll get back to profit taking because that's what I really wanted to kind of chat about today. But this was actually all of the PulseChain testnet V2B validator nodes that are out there. Like wild 550 550 nodes. That means someone set up the entire the blockchain itself, to create a node, you actually become a member, like this node in this ecosystem, if you will. And there's 549. Insane, all over the world. So, and that's just testnet. Like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be absolutely crazy, right? Was using an IP-based data, yeah, of course, making sure. Right, like check this out. I'm not gonna release anything that isn't public. At Richard Hart Wynn is the source of truth for his products. It's not my place. You are all amazing, and I believe that PulseChain will change the world, and RH is changing the world. Damn, not sharing my screen. Man, whenever I do that sometimes, I just get so freaking excited about sharing this information that I forget to come through and share the screen as well. So, I'll get back to showing that map here in a second. Let me see what's going on here. Yep. Former Marine is what we like to call ourselves. You know, we ain't ex nothing. You know, as you should know as well. But we former Marines. You know, you. Anyways, I have all the fun there. We have Pierce East saying, "Smooch the like." Yeah, do yourself and myself a favor and smooch the like. Randy Larsky, have a great day, everyone. See you tonight. I have to take the wife to an appointment. Randy, thank you so much. Vets in the house. Thank you for sharing all the love. Thank you for spreading the good word. Thanks for everyone coming in, tuning in because of Randy. It's an absolute blast to have everyone in here, sharing the good word of Hex, PulseChain, and PulseX, sharing the good news of the validator or the developers coming through, being active in GitLab. Man, this is an incredible time. So I want to make sure that everyone's prepared, right? Also, it will be nice having so many retired friends. Facts. Facts on facts. Yeah, one thing that happens when you retire is all the other friends who are still working, you kind of end up start losing the touch with them because while, you know, you could go out for drinks after work, it's like, yeah, you know, I've kind of done everything I want to do for the day or whatever the case may be, right? And you just kind of like start slowly self-isolating because all the other people who you would normally be hanging out with are still working. You want to do stuff during the day, but you can't because no one's out there. I find myself to go disc golf or frisbee golf or whatever you want to call it, where you get to go out, throw the frisbee, throw the disc, have a good round, enjoy nature. That's my little activity that I'll end up doing as well. Hexactly coming through the house saying, hello everyone, just had to buy more Hex again today. Pro DCA. Facts, woo! Let me do some little celebration noise on that one, woo! Yeah, if you're not buying, here's the deal. I just got off the phone with a buddy of mine, good buddy of mine, great friend, right? Been one of those people that you can just talk to, especially when it comes to Hex and our ecosystem. It's very hard to like have this talk with other people who don't at least understand what a T-share is. And so like if you have to go through and explain what a T-share is and what this is and what that is, it just becomes more work than what it really ends up needing to be, because if they aren't interested, then you're just sharing a whole bunch of information with so much joy and excitement. And sometimes that can, you know, move into them to want to do something. But he put his trust in me. Whenever I first got into Hex, I was one of the first people I'd actually told about Hex. I was like, dude, here's what I found. Here's why I think it's great. Here's what I'm doing. And he's like, dude, I trust you 1,000. Let's go. And he came through, and guys like, man, he has gone through and increased the amount of Hex he's had so much. But he said something the other day, and it was a friend who he also brought on board who had bought. It was like 25,000 Hex at the time, which was around $500 back when it was like 50 cents, right? Or it was around like $5,000 at the time because it was around 50 cents. And so his buddy was like, dude, I want to be buying right now. You know, I just don't know if the price is going to go lower. I'm hoping to get it at like, you know, less than a penny. And he was like, dude, let me just stop you right there. Hold on. And he broke down the numbers. He's like, how much Hex do you have? And he goes, well, about 25,000. He goes, okay, how much did you pay for it again? And he told him how much it was, right? And then he goes, let me just share this with you. He's like, well, you know, he's like, I'm waiting to buy, you know, I got 10 grand sitting on the side. I'm waiting to buy until it drops below a penny. And so he was like, let me just stop you right there. Like, imagine you were to just take $500 right now. Just $500. Go buy Hex today. Like, do you know how much Hex you would get? And he was like, well, now how much would I get, right? And he was like, your $500 today would get you 25,000 Hex. He's like, you double your bag with less than 10% of what it cost you initially, and your dollar cost average goes to like around 3 cents. And he was like, what? And he was doing the math for him. But like, guys, you have to understand, if you were willing to buy when it was 20, 30, 40, 50 cents, yes, dollar cost average is by far one of the best ways you can start buying back in. You don't have to go all in, because a lot of the times, shit, like myself, when you buy, the fucking price drops. It's this aggravating feeling that you're like, no, I wish I would have waited. And so you can either learn by setting limit orders. That's something I had to learn how to do, and I've definitely learned how to do, taking advantage of that. But if you don't, dollar cost average, buy 1,000 now, wait a week, buy another 1,000, wait a week, buy another 1,000, wait a week. And so in 10 weeks, if the price ends up dipping or going lower, you were buying during this entire time. Like, and if the price goes back above 3 cents again and you want to wait, then just like you do you, boo. But like, you get to double, triple, quadruple the amount of Hex you were getting back in the day with the same amount, with so much less dollar value, so much less monetary value needs to be input in for you to get so much more out at these prices. It is an incredible time. I'm not a financial advisor. This isn't financial advice. But damn, if you ain't taking advantage of this opportunity, you're doing something wrong. That's all I gotta say. Luke Duke is a great name. Academaciated. 1000% agree with that. I love saying it. Luke Duke. It's just a fun thing to say. Luke Duke. Randy Larsky, the Hex community seemed to have a lot of Marine and Navy vets. Fact, dude, it does, man. Like, you got hexologists, you got, explosive artists. You have so many, and then Randy Larsky, there's so many people who have come through, vets in crypto. You have so many people who have got it. I think USMC Coast Guard or Coast Guard vet. There's so many people who are in this community that are coming from the military background and veteran background. And it's because I think what you find is this camaraderie, this brotherhood that you don't find anywhere else, in my opinion. Yes, you can go to other cryptocurrencies and be in other communities. And yes, they have their own communities. And yes, they are motivated and happy. But so often what I found was you would join these communities and they would be talking about, is it time to buy? Is it time to sell? Is it time to do this? Is it time to do that? It wasn't this really bond that I found, right? They didn't really care about the next person left or right of them. But in Hex, you damn sure believe that we're all looking out for each other, that we're trying to say like, dude, I got your back, man. What do you need help with? Like, and so many people have come to that call, the beckoning call of being like, hey man, I'm raising my hand, I need some help in the community. And then like everyone just fucking flocks and they come through and they just like, dude, we got you, man. That's happened for people who have been hospitalized. That's happened for people who have lost some things. It's happened for people who have lost family members and couldn't pay for the funeral service. Like, this community is by far one of the best communities. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a part of it. I'm a part of it because I'm saying that, right? Like, it's this mentality that you have to literally flip. I became a part of the community because of what I found within the community, right? I started doing these daily streams. I wouldn't be talking about another cryptocurrency. I was doing plenty of investing and plenty of stuff before I found Hex, but you wouldn't see me talk about it on a live stream because I definitely damn sure wasn't convicted within the product. I was just looking to either flip it within a short period of time or, do my own thing, but I damn sure wasn't, trying to talk to other people about getting into something. I've talked to so many people about Hex and the ecosystem. I got so many people sacrificed for PulseChain and PulseX. And do they even care that it hasn't launched yet? No. In fact, they're still in the same position because when you explain something a certain way, that guys, if you buy this right now, I can't guarantee that the price is going to stay high. I can't guarantee that the price won't go lower. What I can guarantee is that if you look forward in the future, 15 years, you're probably going to be in a better position with more coins than you initially had when you first got in without doing anything. That's what I can guarantee because it pays a trustless yield that no one has to even be a middleman of. There's no admin keys. Man, it's immutable. I get so freaking fired up with this, but this is Brett Tepp saying, I'm not releasing anything that isn't public. Richard Hart's the source of truth for his products. Not my place. You're all amazing. I believe the PulseChain will change the world. And if we go to Richard Hart's page, post pictures of things you can't afford. Eggs. Yo, this price is crazy. Egg prices have gone absolutely fucking insane with inflation and everything else like that. One of the things happened that he said today was one of the very stupidest people, one of the very stupidest of rich people believes in depopulation. The smart one knows who butters their bread. Well, and he's talking about Elon Musk. We already, can assume that to be the case. Norwegian car magazine, Hex.com. Hexakin with an Alfa Romeo sitting right there. PulseChain.com. Does anyone know a hookup for Netflix? We got the final schedule here. And that's what he's saying. Like, he posted this final schedule. Maddie, I would say to anyone who is cool with them, if you want to, these are all supposed to be 2023 for the dates. But, I don't really think that matters too much. Bitcoin turned 14 years old today. Yo, we have 15-year-old stakes, and look what Bitcoin's done in 14 years. Yes, sir. Yes, please. Like, sign me up for that shit. Gabriel says, what is GitLab for? Well, that is what they're using to develop PulseChain and PulseX. They're using it. It's actually a whole developer thing. You can go through, you can log items, you can keep track of everything happening. So if I go here to this page, like GitLab, you can go here to go Pulse, for example, and it'll show you all of the stuff that they're doing, right? Whether it be merges, whether it be cleanups, whether it be updates to testnet, network ID, fixing the validator and consensus. They have all this stuff happening all within here, and it's just an easy place for everyone who is the developer in the ecosystem for them to all work together, and so they can all just share with everyone without having to, maintain some information, do this, do that. And so, like, if you just go in here to GitLab, it's just a neat little way of kind of monitoring what's going on. And I was really hoping we had the Block Scout right about a month ago in December. And I think that was when they were launching. Oh, goodness. I forget what the name of it's called. Let me see if I can find it. No, it's not showing up in there. Yeah, it's not showing up in here, but you can kind of see this is what they use for, and you can kind of go through if you ever want to read more about Block Scout, read what it's all about with EVM chains, how it works, the contributing, the license necessary in order to do it. So like Randy Alarski said before, mid-May is definitely a possibility. One, because you got the Uniswap v3 license that expires around that time, so they can just copy over that as well. And then you also have, basically like the bottom of the bear market kind of coming to fruition. You don't really want to launch at the exact bottom because people don't believe it's the bottom. You want some recovery back in the game, and I think with Hex coming through, it's a pretty interesting time. Is Hex really at 2 cents again? It sure is. Heckin' A. Heckin' A. Look at that. Tintop says, LOL, sorry old friends, I'm already trashed by the time y'all get off work. Retired life. Hashtag rehab. well, you just find that you just don't want to be like, so like myself, I found that I didn't want to go out afterwards and like go drink and then, wake up the next day and while you can sleep and do whatever. It was just this mentality that you end up going through, right? So it's just a funny little thing. Aaron Barnett definitely pointing out the price of Hex going back up again, and we can share this one right here. The price of Hex is, going back up again. Ben says, keep up the good work, ATX. Been DCAing all the way from 10 cents all the way down. Now average is looking juicy. So is that food you got going in that profile pic. Like, that shit looks yums. But yeah. Absolutely, like now's the time to do it. If you're not DCAing in, then like what are you doing? Hey Aaron Barnett, it's okay. I get you, right? 2035, 235, like, hey, be excited the price going back up, right? Like that's the way I look at it. I'm not even worried about it. We got Pete Gabriel saying, mwah, juicy. Juicy, juicy. Huh, Hex is 2 cents now. Exactly. It's scary, this Hex price. Yeah. Yeah, no, and that's what we're looking at right here. So this is what I kind of believe happening for the Hex price, and you can kind of see I want it to keep going up, folks. Like, I don't want this sucker to go back down, obviously, but because PulseChain is now so heavily tied to the launch of testnet, the launch of PulseChain. Everything is just so correlated with PulseChain nowadays. Until we really start getting some momentum, I see the hex price kind of doing what it's done in the past, and I'll just be real with y'all, and that's what I've done this whole time. Usually what we do is we get this relief rally up, and usually we get the price falling back down. This has happened a couple times where we start seeing the relief rally up, we get the price falling back down, we get the relief rally back up, we get the price falling down. So I want the price to keep going. I think once we cross over, and I've said this again just earlier in the stream, but I think once we cross over the 9 EMA versus the 15 EMA, which is this line to that line, should I make them bigger? See if I can make it thicker. Yeah, I can make it thicker. And we'll make this one thicker too. Okay. So once we get these two happen, once that cross happens, usually that's that bullish sign. That's what I'm actually waiting for right now. Not necessarily saying to like, that's when I think we're going to start just continuing to go and rally on the way up. Until I see that really cross happen, I'm excited the price is here. Don't get me wrong. But I do see that the price is probably going to end up trending in by about 1.9 to 1.4 for at least the interim until PulseChain comes. And, you know, should it go back up, like, dude, I'm freaking stoked every single time too. I have limit orders down here. I actually kind of want the price to fall lower, but if it doesn't, I'm perfectly okay with it too. Right? And that's something that we need to make sure that we figure out. Aaron Barnett. Excuse me. Exactly says, are we turning the bear? Yeah, we actually kind of led the bear market in my opinion. We saw it happen right from the jump, and so now that it's kind of gone through that route, it's kind of cool. Bright Light Crypto is saying, what is up? First time here at ATX. Bright Light, thank you so much. You're an incredible person. Not only are you coming in, but you're joining the chat, having fun with our community, having fun with everyone. At Randy Hilarski and at Tintop, hello. He says, hey, you got Tintop. Yeah, Tintop and Hexactly and Hexauto and all those folks are like in every stream ever. Love seeing it. Love being these folks. Love having everyone in the community and the ecosystem. Life is good. Hex is up. Like, let's go. Yeah, especially if you bought. Like, so that's what I was talking about with buying. It always felt like whenever I would buy, the price would just start dumping, and you're like, what is happening? And you're like, why? Why are you dumping now? And it just always felt that way. So I've learned to put in limit orders, because now when the price dumps and I get my limit order filled, it's this moment of like, yes. So I had limit orders at like 2.2, 1.9, 1.7, and it just kept getting filled every single time. And I was like, scoop it up, because like that's such a better feeling in my opinion to see the price fall to the number that you never thought it would, but then it gets there and you get to buy more of the asset that you love. Oh my God, it's incredible. It's such an incredible feeling. So like, to get an example of like what's happening right now, right? So this is actually dexscreener.com. This actually shows what is happening, why it's going this way, right? So we have overall 218 buys and we have 102 sells, right? We have $1.1 million in buyer volume versus 814,000 in seller volume. Now, keep in mind, we have to pass this threshold now, because now that the price has fallen, we want to pass the 5-cent threshold. That's really the next level that we need to just like move by. Once we get past 5 cents, that's when it's like, we got clear skies ahead type deal. Really, I think once we get above 3 cents, that's the threshold, but we have more buyers than sellers. There's 181 buyers. Whoops, I need to scroll just a smidge so y'all can see. There's 181 buyers versus 82 sellers. So even for the 82 sellers, look at that. 82 sellers selling $800,000. That essentially ends up equating to almost $10,000 per seller, versus the buyers who are coming in at 181 at 1.1. So they're coming in roughly about $6,000 per buyer, but we have 68% buyers over sellers. And guess what happens when that happens? We get the price going up. The price go up. The price go up. Yeah, it's always good, man. It's a good feeling when you get to start seeing that price go up. Aaron Barnett flexing that arm, throwing the little strong signal right there. We got Fellas Crypto. Thank you so much for hopping in here, tuning in, having fun. It's an absolute blast. Yeah, it's a battle between sellers and buyers. So love it, love it, love it. But like what I would do, and for those folks who are new to the channel, it seems like we got some new subscribers, some new people tuning in. Feel free to subscribe to the channel. It means a lot. It's greatly appreciated. If you're enjoying the content, the energy, the vibe, the community that we have within the chat, come on in, come join, right? Be a part of it as well. Don't be scared. And so, like, what happens is we'll dive in, and I'll look into like some of these people who are selling. I'll be like, dude, what the heck are they doing, right? Like, if you got this person selling $10,000, why? So what I'll do is I'll open it up, and then I share with everyone, and I say, what are they doing, right? And so a lot of them are holding USDC, guys. What I found to be the biggest bullish thing for Hex right now is almost all of these wallets that are selling Hex. Majority of them are just holding USDC. They aren't even cashing out. So they're literally sitting on this pile of cash waiting for news, for announcements of PulseChain. And guys, when we start getting that testnet V3, we're going to start seeing a lot of this liquidity start injecting back in. All these people who are holding on the sidelines with all this cash, they're going to start coming back in, and they're going to be like, I'm here. They got 23,000 right here, for example, right? And that's essentially what's happening. So as we go through, and I'll pull up the wallets and I'll say, okay, what are they doing? What's happening? Why are they doing it? And so they sold some Hex. Cool. They converted it to USDC. Cool, right? And then I dive into like, are they staked? Are they not staked? And so I dive into these people's wallets. This person has never staked Hex. They don't understand the entire true protocol of Hex, in my opinion. I think we're going to have a lot of folks who are doing this, right? They buy some Hex at some lower prices, like 1.7, for example, and then they're selling Hex and converting it to USDC to get, you know, $5 more, $100 more, whatever the amount is that they're trading for, right? But I dive in, we have fun. Thank you so much, Cash Up Cash. We got loving the vibe of your stream. I love everyone coming on in here. Seriously, seriously, seriously. It means the world, means a lot, and it's greatly appreciated. Gabriel says, me too. Right? Like, of course, folks. So, like, let's get into some profit taking, okay? Because we got plenty of folks sitting on the sideline waiting for PulseChain to happen. Whether it be they're going to get back into Hex and then buy PulseChain through that regard and swap their coins when that all happens, or whether they're just waiting for Hex to launch, because every ERC20 token's getting copied, folks. If you don't know, when PulseChain launches, all of the ERC20 copies are getting forked over, so it'll be a mirror. Everything that you hold in ERC20s, ERC721s, everything on the Ethereum network is going to mirror over here on this other network. Going to be beautiful. It's an absolute incredible time, right? But I want to make sure that I have a good understanding of a better profit-taking strategy. I'm going to come up with the video once this is actually all done. I'm sharing this chart with everyone just so that way everyone can kind of see it with me. Maybe give some ideas into like maybe how I can improve this. But the idea that I had was I want to be able to take out profit. One thing I learned in the 2021-2022 bear market cycle and all that good stuff is that profit taking is almost not necessity, but if done right, can be highly advantageous. So I don't necessarily want to profit and then cash out. The idea is to do what these folks are doing, where they are literally converting their crypto that they enjoy into USDC, and then they're sitting on the sidelines with that USDC, okay? So I want to take that same mentality and look here. And so if I have the ability to cash out, and if there's a rainy day or something that I need, I have funds already in USDC or stable coins, I can pull that liquidity out, I can cash out, convert it into my actual bank, and use it in the fiat world. If not, it'll sit here in USDC for price dips to be in the game. If we know 60 to 70 to 80% dips are in fact in the game for crypto, I want to take advantage of them. I want to make sure that I'm prepared. I want to make sure that I'm ready. So my mentality on this one is a 5% strategy, okay? 5% strategy. Oh shit. Can you imagine exactly? Hex to 40 cents before airdrop? That would be freaking epic. That would be fire. Like, I think there would be so many people. Oh god, the amount of momentum and energy. But that's possible. Why? Because there's so much freaking money sitting on the sidelines right now with their hands tied, waiting for the announcement of PulseChain. But once we get some news of PulseChain, oh dude, I don't even. There's millions of dollars sitting on the sideline right now. And if all that starts coming back into the Hex ecosystem so they can get not only a copy of it, because the reason why you would convert it into Hex and not hold it as USDC is when the launch happens on PulseChain, we don't know if the value of USDC or a stable coin is still going to be pegged to $1 because it may not be backed by Circle, the company who owns USDC. They can actually invalidate all of their coins because if it gets forked over, they can say, nope, those aren't any good. And so I think a lot of people aren't looking to hold USDC when PulseChain happens. They're probably going to go with something that's going to provide the most liquidity, which is guaranteed to be Hex. There's no ifs, ands, or doubts about it. The Hex community is going to have the biggest momentum. So a lot of these folks are going to start coming back in and buying Hex, waiting for the announcement of PulseChain, because when PulseChain happens, we get the fork happen, and once the fork happens, they can choose whatever they want to do over here. But there's so much money sitting on the sidelines that once that starts pouring back in, this Hex price is going to do some freaking crazy things. The way you can stop yourself from doing something stupid like, hey, should I sell? Before the launch of PulseChain is by staking it. If you stake it out 6 months and you decide to do the move at that point in time, whenever the time happens, then you're probably going to make a better decision than trying to do something when it first launches. Because when you do emotional decisions, it's probably not going to be the best choice. You're going to look back and be like, hindsight being 2020, I should have done this. Well, plan ahead, right? Proper preparation prevents poor performance, right? Like, plan ahead. Use the 5 Ps. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. Do it. Like, prepare. Start mentally thinking, what is the best strategy for you? Come up with your own investment thesis. Figure out a way that makes sense for you to be able to feel comfortable about your decision. Because if you make something in an emotional state, it's almost guaranteed to be not the right choice. It's the same thing as when you argue. You don't want to argue when you're at your peak madness. You don't want to argue when you're at your peak sadness. You don't want to argue in any of that. You want to take some time. You want to come with a level head, and you want to have that adult conversation that needs to be said. But you want to come with it at a way, because if you say some shit when you're angry, just to say some shit, because sometimes you'll just want to hurt that other person. And it'll be this moment of time that you're like, I truly did not mean that. Well, damn it, dude. Like, that sucks because you're in an emotional state. And when you're in that state, you don't think rationally. So how can you start planning? Well, you start thinking about that right now. When PulseChain launches, what might my strategy be, right? Do I want to convert it all into Hex? Do I want to hold all my crypto still? Do I want to, if I hold cryptos in other exchanges like Binance or Polygon or Avalanche, do I want to move those over so I can get them copied? Do I plan right now? Now's the time to do it. Plan. Proper preparation prevents poor performance, right? Say it with me. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. It's 5 Ps. It's going to help you out so much, folks. So my strategy for PulseChain, PulseX, for all these other items here as well, I want to have something in my head that says, if it goes up a certain amount of money, what is going to be my plan? Because I find that we may see a 10x from launch in PulseChain. That's kind of where I think, which would put us at 0.001, 2 zeros and a 1. Right? The initial sack price was 0.0001, right? It's 10,000 divided by 1. Pretty simple. So whenever I came up with this strategy, I said, okay, if you were to invest $10,000, you would have gotten 100 million coins. Okay. Well, I want to have a strategy for when it goes up every 5%. And what's that mean? For every time it does a double, every time the price does a double, so it goes up to 0.0002. That's a 2x. I want to have a strategy to take 5% profit. Now, again, what I mean by this is move that into a stable coin position. Now, this is excluding the fact that we're going to have liquid loans. It's going to be a little bit more planning available. There's more plans that you can implement. You can actually take profit in that regard without actually doing anything from taking profit out of the initial crypto. But you have to be properly collateralized. And unfortunately, for those folks who don't want to mess with that system, this is a strategy that you can use yourself. You can say, if it does a 2x, I want to take profit every time it does a 2x. So 2, 4, 6, right? And you can kind of see here on this sheet 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, right? So by the time it does 1000x, essentially you should have taken 10 profits. That's kind of the idea. And that number increases even more every single time. And I'll show you what I mean. So the first time you take 5% profit, that means you sell 5 million coins and you basically cash out into $1,000 at that point in time, because again, it's done at 2x and you're able to cash out, right? Well, that leaves you 95 million coins left over. Well, say for example, you want to cash out next time when it does a 4x. Well, that puts the price at 0.0004. But again, now instead of 5%, you're still going to be selling, but you don't have to sell the 5% per se in this regard, because you're selling 5% of 95%, if that makes sense. That's why I got 4.75, okay? And I've come up with this little strategy, and I'm going to make it available so that way people can kind of see. Hopefully, if you want to share, if you want to change, if you want to do anything like that, you're welcome to. And then you can change these formulas here. So it doesn't necessarily have to be 5%. It can actually be 10%. It can be 20%. And you can change all those numbers here, and it'll adjust it on this spreadsheet. But the strategy I'm starting out with is 5%. So the next time it does a 2x, I still want to sell 5%, but in this case, it's going to be a little bit less. So I'm having this kind of tell me how much to sell. So I would sell 4.5 million coins. It would cash out 1,800, and I would still have 90 million coins left over. Well, say it goes up and does a 10x, right? Or say it goes up and does a 16x, right? Well, that puts the price at 0.0016. I definitely see 100x being possible within the first year. In fact, I did a video on this in the past as well, breaking down my PulseChain price prediction. You just type in ATX crypto PulseChain price prediction if you want to check it out. But it's this little tutorial or this little cartoon character who is basically just going through and saying like the average of layer 1 protocols is around 200x within the first 300 days. So if I'm planning ahead like this and I want to have something in place, so now when it does a 16x and now it's at 0.0016, I can sell 4.125%, and that'll mean that I sell this amount of coins. That means I now cash out 6,800. So for those of y'all who are keeping track, you have 6,800, you have 1,800, and you have 1,000. Right? That's pretty darn close to 9,600. So at this point in time, by a 16x, you've pulled your investment out of it. And now it's all free money at this point in time. Now you haven't cashed out. I'm not saying convert it into fiat. I'm saying you hold it and you go through the strategy and say, okay, at the next time, I want to sell whenever it goes up and does a 64x, we'll say. So now the price is 0.0064. And now you cash out 24,000, okay? And you still have 82 million coins left over in this scenario. And overall, through this whole time, you've been able to cash out $33,605. If you take out your initial investment, you're sitting on 23,000 profit. And you still have 82 million coins left over. Now, I think this is going to be a strategy that I'm going to try to find how to implement in the best way possible. And I'm still tweaking and refining this. I will plan on sharing this out with everyone. Yeah, let's see here. With the new loan coins, why not get a loan? Yeah, you're talking about liquid loans? So yes, I think I do plan on having a strategy in place as well there. I think having them available to have that strategy in place could be absolutely huge. And so really what I want to try to find is I really want to go through and say, what's going to be the best plan? Okay, because imagine that liquid loans doesn't launch for a few months until PulseChain settles. Now they said they would launch 30 days after PulseChain launches roughly. but I still don't know if I want to trust that 100%. So if you're betting all of your eggs on them launching for you to implement a strategy, and then the price goes and does 100x within the first month, well, then you missed out on what could be a great profit taking strategy. So, Crypto Frontier, I want to have plans in place in case screen's a bit fuzzy. Oh no. Is it really? Oh, this screen. Yeah, I don't know how I can share and it's probably just because of the colors of everything, right? I don't know how I can. Let me see, because that still doesn't quite do it. Maybe I'll have to try to change the font to help out. We'll play around with that, right? I'm sharing. This is like a test spreadsheet that I'm coming out with, that I'm building, and I'm trying to find a way. John Davis. So thank you for the comment, and yeah, definitely appreciated. Again, like, this is part of me testing, right? I'm growing with you. I'm learning with you. I do find that it's going to be a good idea, right? And so like, here's the deal. I want to have a plan in place just in case. And back to Crypto Frontier's question, I want to have a plan in place in case, for whatever reason, PulseChain or Liquid Loans doesn't launch within the time frame that they said they would. I want to have something that I'm not going to regret later. So by doing a 5% strategy, I found that it doesn't wreck yourself. You don't wreck your bag. You are not trading. This is not the idea of trading. I'm not trying to get in and sell and buy and buy and sell and buy and sell. What I'm waiting for is for the dip to come around. So I'm selling a portion of profit, and that portion of profit, oh my goodness, the dogs are so cute. They're just in my office with me all the time. But I'm selling a portion of profit in order to have the cash readily available for the dip to come. Because if we know that dips are in fact in the game of crypto, then I want to plan for the dip, right? I don't like having to extract the new dollars that I'm making right now and put it into the crypto. I think for a lot of folks who have sacrificed, and for a lot of folks who have hex, and for other folks who have done other items, I don't want to be buying when the price is reaching all-time highs. I figured that out whenever hex came around, right? And I'm learning these lessons and I'm sharing them with you. I don't want to buy whenever the price is reaching all-time highs. In fact, if the price is reaching all-time highs, I want to have a profit-taking strategy so I can take profit on the way up. And then guess what? When the price dips below 60%, 70%, I want to reinvest some of that capital that I've been able to save and store just on the sideline waiting. And I want to reinvest that capital and just scoop up some more hex, or scoop up some more pulse, or scoop up some more PulseChain, scoop up some more PulseX, right? I want to reinvest that capital at 60%, 70%, 80%, 90% should that come around. Because if we know the dips are in fact in the game, then I want to plan for it. And I don't want to wait on a protocol, because I find that we may see PulseChain do a 100x launch from jump. How incredible would that be? And then, yeah, we may see it dip back down. I think the lowest it'll get personally is 10x above the sacrifice price. That's why I say 10x for the price, because I think that's going to be the lowest point it's going to get. We're going to have a lot of folks who are willing to sell, but there's going to be a lot more capital coming back into this ecosystem as well. But I don't want to be buying these all-time high prices. I want to have it done the flip-flop way, where I take profit on the way up, because I was fortunate enough to sacrifice for PulseChain and PulseX, and I have hex, and I have my ladders, and I've done everything that I can right now during this bear market, and I'm still doing more. But that's what I'm doing right now. I have everything already set, and so I don't feel the need to invest heavily whenever it first comes out. I want to learn how to take profits on the way up, but I also don't want to wreck myself by just taking out, like, say for example, it does this, right? Say for example, you start out with 10,000 and then it does a 2x, and then you take out your $10,000 investment. Well, then you're only sitting with half your bag. And a lot of folks are going to play this game because they feel that then it's all house money at that point in time and they don't care. But this is a strategy that I've come up with that I'm sharing with everyone, and it's up to you to decide to what you want to do with your investments as well, right? We have Nuno Alvarez. We have Nuno Alvaro Azevedo saying we need a reliable fiat on ramps for Pulse, and they are building that right now. I think the team that built PulseRamp.com could be a great, reliable team. However, they have kind of gone radio silent as of now, and you can't use them on testnet anymore because the Rapiston testnet network is unable to, unfortunately, work anymore. So that's one of the things, and I'm wondering if my bad. They got rid of the Ring testnet, and so because of that, the PulseRamp.com website that people were using no longer works. So yeah, that's what I would say. Unfortunately, like they are gonna, and we have 0x Coast as well, or OX Coast, coming out with the excuse me. Jeez, I don't know why I got my little fuzzy throat over here right now, raspy throat coming. Been streaming right about an hour and a half. That's nothing too crazy. I've done this many days. Is it not better to stake PLSX than to take out interest? Yeah, so like we don't know what's gonna come. I don't want to do the staking mechanism where I have to tie it and pair it with two coins together. And so PLSX is another item that it has to be implemented through a consensus network for it to actually open up to do single-sided staking. And until that happens, which may not be a month as well, I want to have plans ahead of time, right? Like if those other things come and we can start changing and adjusting the game plan, I am open to changing my game plan, and I am open to new ideas, and I'm constantly configuring my strategies. But I want to have something in place that in case they don't have single-sided liquidity or single-sided staking right at launch, then I want to have another item that I can guarantee myself, because guess what? Like I want it, dude. Like I saw it come on testnet and I was stoked. I was pumped. I was like, single-sided staking, this is freaking incredible. There's no risk. You just stake it and hold it, and it's incredible. That's what I'm looking for. You know what I mean? So, but I don't think that's gonna come right away. It has to be introduced through a consensus, right? Everyone's gonna have to vote on it, and it's gonna have to be put in place or put in its spot. So I don't want to wait on that to answer the question exactly. I do think that single-sided staking could be highly advantageous. But again, if I'm planning for this to be the case, I don't know if that's going to launch right away. And what if it doesn't launch within a month or two, and we go and see it do a 10x, 50x, 100x? What if we see that happen within that short period of time? Are you going to watch it fall all the way back down to a 5x, 10x again? Like, that's brutal. And I got to experience that once already, and I don't want to experience it again without having properly planned for something to play, for it to play out that way. And if I took and profit all the way up while it did that 20, 50, 100x, and then it dips down and goes back down 90% to a 10x again, well, guess what I'm doing? I'm reinvesting some of the capital that I took from the profits back in and buying at the lower lows. I don't want to buy on the rally up, right? I want to buy when it's super low. And that's something that I'm learning here, right? Maybe stake and use our plan at the same time. yeah, exactly. Maybe stake and use your plan at the same time. Yeah, you could do it all, right? You could take some profit, and again, it doesn't have to be 5%. These numbers and the metric that I'm doing with my spreadsheet can change, right? And so, like, say for example, and I'll come back over here and share it one more time. And zoom out just a smidge because it's probably too zoomed in here. And I know it's just a smidge fuzzy. I hear you on that one. Maybe I can figure out a way to change the font and make it a little bit easier. And you know, that's let me write a quick note on that. Change font. Whoops. I don't want to mess up my audio. Give me this piece of paper. All right. Change Come on, change font on Excel sheet. All right. Just need to leave myself a quick note, otherwise I'd probably forget. So, yeah, to answer the question, like, so, whoops. So if I go back here and say I wanted to change this here instead of 5%, say I actually wanted to do, 10% or less or whatever. So I can start changing all these numbers over here on the side and it'll start adjusting everything. And this is going to be 10%. Again, I'm going to make this so that way everything just kind of is a lot smoother, so you can just insert the areas and maybe just make it so that way it's easier to see. But see, for here now it's a 10x, or now on 2x I take 10%, which would mean I cash out $2,000, and I can adjust this. That'll leave you 90 million coins left over, and then I can do the same thing 4x. Maybe I don't want to go and do the full amount there. Maybe I want to do less, and I can again adjust this. And yes, I'm looking to continue to tweak and modify this sheet and make it easier for just everyone to get used to. And now that I actually see that, I can just easily, I can make this just this one, right? Because then I can just make it that tab. And that can actually be so much easier. Okay, so there you go. That's me making some adjustments right there as we go through on the fly. And so now if I change this to 10%, it adjusts it automatically. And if I adjust it to 50%, it adjusts it. Yeah. So that's what I was looking for there. And again, I'm going to keep on tweaking and modifying. It's not ready for the launch just yet, or its full release. I want to, just like me streaming, you want to wait until things are a certain way. And I'm sure if I sent this out within the community, it's probably going to go a heck of a lot faster. I just have my own strategy that I'm planning on doing myself. And I like building out these spreadsheets. Gabriel says, I like your strategy. Are you going to share this Excel? Absolutely. Yes. I am looking to share this Excel sheet with everyone. That way you can not only use it for your own profit-taking strategies and your own implementations of everything, but also for all the other items you may have stacked for. PulseChain, PulseX, Liquid Loans, Mintra, Power City, right? Internet money, like all these things that are available. And even if you have current hex right now and just what the price is and what it can do, right? I can put in hex and the current price being 0.019, right? And then say you have a million coins or something like that, right? And so like that way you can kind of have a better idea, and it's sitting here at the current price. Well, maybe when it does a 2x and it goes back up to 3.8, maybe you take out 5%. So you sell 50,000, and that's again sitting on $1,900 that you sit on the side. And I really do want to share this with everyone, because I think it could be a game changer for a lot of folks. I'm a person who likes seeing data, which is why the streams that I do, I dive into people's wallets. I love hexfire.io and Crispy Man coming out with that. Thank you so much. Borrowing against your PLS seems ideal, as the worst case scenario is you over leverage and get liquidated. However, you would have sold anyways to extract value. Yeah, so I'm super stoked for Liquid Loans, folks. Like, I did sacrifice for Liquid Loans. I do believe in the protocol and what it's doing. I have not used Liquidity, which is the fork that they are using. It's on the Ethereum network currently right now already. But I think that once PulseChain comes out and we have Liquid Loans, it's going to be a really neat strategy that's going to allow us to extract value without selling anything, right? And this whole idea of never sell becomes truly possible as long as you stay properly collateralized, as long as you think that it could dip 95% and you were staying 1,000% collateralized, right? And so I had another sheet as well. Let me see if I still have it. Let me pull this up here. Liquid Loans. I have so many things, right? I have hex ladders, Liquid Loans. Yeah, so this was a Liquid Loans thing that you can actually use for where you were sitting right here. Your current window is too small, properly displaying. Yeah, of course. And zoom out just a smidge. And so you can actually use this for liquid loans and say, this is how much PLS I'm going to have. This was the sacrifice price. This was the initial PLS price. What was the percent increase? How much collateralization are you, right? Do you have the ability to allow if it does drop below 85%, 95%? Like, where are you currently collateralized? And so all of this is already here, and I'm waiting. I am waiting, folks. I am waiting for all of it to come out because I love sharing this information. And this is going to be information that we're going to be sharing within the Hex ecosystem, within the ATX gang. For everyone who is currently here, I appreciate everyone tuning in. Y'all are definitely loving this so much. Yeah, Gabriel says, I'll try your strategy on testnet v3. Definitely now is the time to start doing it. Paper money is the best way to do it. And even if, you just take what's possible, like if you use hexcalc.net or whatever, if you're using this website here and you can see what's possible for Hex if you stake and you do this and where it could be at in the future and what's the price. If you're using this kind of website, then it's the same thing as me kind of building this liquid loan or me doing this profit taking strategy. You can input all the information and just see what's possible. So you don't have to do it every single time it's done. But I personally want to take profits this time. I think one of the things I do regret was not selling anything whatsoever during that whole bull rally, right? I got to see my gains go up massively and have hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? And six figures and that kind of stuff. But then I didn't sell nothing, and then it comes down to less than six figures, and you're like, well, that was stupid. I could have done things a little differently, right? And so if you aren't using this opportunity as a learning lesson, then you're crazy. You crazy. Well, let me see here. All right, guys. Well, I know I had shared a lot of information. I appreciate everyone tuning in. I am going to be hopping off the stream today. Thank you so much to everyone who tuned in. We got Jizzy Mac who just subscribed. Thank you as always. And again, I got to get going. Got to take care of the pubs. There's some other items. Again, I didn't realize we had been streaming an hour and a half already. I absolutely love it. So exactly, I'll get back to the question here a little bit later. And we'll be here tomorrow. Come tune in. Come check it out. I do a daily stream, noon Central Standard Time. We got Hexactly to thank. We got Pierce East to thank. Nuno Alvarez Acevedo, Gabriel Academaciated, Hexactly, John Davis, Crypto Frontier, Cash Up Cash, Fellas Crypto, Aaron Barnett, Ten Top in the house, Bright Light Crypto. We have Gabriel, yeah. Corey Tate, another fellow veteran, Marine Corps, Hoorah, Semper Fidelis, my friend. We got Luke Duke, Randy Hilarski. Guys, it was an absolute blast having everyone a part of the stream. It was an absolute blast having this whole information. I love sharing this stuff. If you are definitely appreciating all the content, do me and yourself a favor. Click that subscribe button. Click the like button. Share this information out with everyone who you think needs to hear it. It's been an absolute blast today. And again, I'll be hopping off and I'll catch y'all in the next stream. Again, my name is ATX Crypto. Peace!